Give me some brew and I might just chill. But I'm the type that like to light another joint like Cypress Hill.
In 1995, the Oakland-based rap group the Luniz will drop a record that will change hip-hop.
Especially with the weed shit, like they were so ahead of their time. Like I think the only real mention of like marijuana or like who was pushing that agenda probably was the Chronic.
I think from the beginning, we were already thinking about making big records. We didn't want to make just a regional song. We never did.
It wasn't expected because it's a song about putting your money together to go get some weed. If you ain't got 5 on it, you can't get high on it.
We like, what have they haven't done yet? We was like, they did the rumors, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, they haven't did, why you treat me so bad?
I think you got to put everything into context. So at the time, you know what I'm saying, when the Luniz came out with I Got 5 on it, it was so hot in the streets. It was so fire, like it was that new Oakland was back with some more hot fire.
See, it's different with 5 on it. You gotta think of a 5 on it like this. 5 on it bubbled without us giving payola and shit like that. We didn't have to pay DJs and all that shit. 5 on it, when they heard that song, it just went.
There are no blueprints to this thing, and I think that the Luniz are a perfect example of that. There's no blueprint to this. So if you're trying to make a hit, or if you really love this thing and you're doing it, anything can happen.
This is the untold story of the Luniz. On the east side of Oakland, California, is where Gerald Ellis III, Yuckmouth, and Garrett Husbands, known as Numbskull, would eventually form a rap alliance when they met at a local junior high school while doing talent shows.
Yeah, I was always into music. I mean, my daddy was in the Gap Band. You know, my mother played piano, things like that. So I always had music around me, so yeah. But when I started rapping, about 14, 15, my mom bought me it was the 12-inch, I think, 12-inch single of the Fat Boys' first single.
Stick up!
When I heard that, it's like, I want to do that. That's it right there. Started writing little raps, garbage at first, but began to get better. But that's when I started.
Even though being from the West Coast, Numbskull and Yuckmouth's biggest early influences came from the East Coast, New York.
So your attention's undivided. Many in the past have tried to do what I did. It's just the way I came off then.
I went from doing the production, the beats and shit, not the beats, but instruments, to breakdancing and graffiti. You know, I knew how to draw real good, cartooning and shit, so breakdancing and graffiti. Then I started rapping when Run DMC and all that, like, really what made me want to rap was Cool G Rap, the Juice Crew.
Yo, I believe that's me. G-Rap right off the mic for the symphony. Yo, Marley gives a slice. I get nice and my voice is twice as horrifying as Vincent Price goes deep. Till you fell in a spell of a sleep. And while I'm counting the money, you count sheep.
Basically, I was in the Biz Marquee. He was hella funny.
Right.
So Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, you know what I mean? The Juice Crew, that made me want to rap, literally, that symphony song. That motherfucker was manic. You know what I mean? I love rap, I love LL, I'm bad. That was my best song, but what made me want to rap was when I heard Big Daddy Kane and motherfucking Cool G Rap on Symphony. That's what made me want to start trying to write bars and shit, and Public Enemy.
You know, that was East Coast. We was West Coast. You know what I mean? This was before the funk, but right. It just was, y'all do that, we do this. You know what I mean?
We took y'all. Y'all don't know that, but I'm one person that thought y'all was from the East.
Everybody thought
just because you guys were lyrical.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were lyrical.
Right.
How you looked in your videos.
Right.
We thought, I can't say everybody, but
mm-hmm.
I thought, coming from New York, I thought these guys was from.
Everybody did. Every interview in the beginning, it was always,
what borough you from?
We thought y'all was from the East Coast. No, Oakland, baby.
So how did y'all get so lyrical? Because you guys really had lyrics that stood out. It was witty, the things that you guys were saying. And so for a lot of us, that's what we were on. So that's kind of where we thought, you know what I mean?
I mean, my mother, she's an English lit major. You know what I mean? She always had me like speak right, boy. Speak right. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I think me first of all, when you say about anything about the Luniz raps, these niggas is funny.
Right.
They do have street knowledge.
Right.
But they some smart cats.
Right.
And I think the smart part came from our parents. And us being lyrical, I don't know, man. I don't know. We just got it. We knew we had to do something different. We knew we had to keep up with y'all East Coast cats. That's actually what we knew.
So
when you listen to Rakim, come on, man. Come on. That boy's a master at his craft.
But East Coast rap wasn't the only group's influence. According to their crew, they grew up on smooth R&B and funk.
Was influenced from like the greats before us. You know, the Princes, the Michael Jacksons, the Gap Bands, like all of that shit that our parents is really playing. Like that's really what Numb come from. I really don't know what Yuck's influence might be. He probably is a hell of a, or was a hell of a East Coast head. Probably loved like New York rhymers because his patterns were kind of reminded you of like some New York shit. You know what I mean?
About the time I got to the 7th grade, I was selling dope, period. So I was out there in the streets and shit. And Numbskull was the rappers of my junior high school. So they had a crew called Brothers with Potential.
Me and Yuck met in junior high school. I was doing talent shows in junior high school. When he came there, he would come to the talent shows and stuff. I was winning all the talent shows. And I had a group called BWP, Brothers with Potential. And he said this rap to me. It was called Pooflacons. It was about bitches with afros.
Pooflacon. About a motherfucker with an afro, a bitch with an afro. I called her Pooflacon. Joe. Man, it was like, I was damn near living in a crack house, man. So it was these dope fiends that was just living in our apartment building, man. He just had an afro. I don't know what this nigga name was, but he was hella musty, and he had a big-ass afro. And I used to call him Pooflacon. But he was stinking like 12 gyms. Like, nigga done never shower. Like, nigga is stinking up the whole motherfucking spot. So I just wrote the song about him. You know what I mean? Period. But changed it to about a female. You know what I mean? So that basically was the idea. But it was a funny, you know what I mean? Like, parents just don't understand funny song.
When I heard that, it was amazing. I was like, that shit is raw. And the boy had skills. He had flow skills like a motherfucker. Like, put him in the group. That's how I met him.
We had like 7 members. Me and him was the only ones that stuck together. We really wanted to do this music shit. They didn't. You know what I mean? That's when Yuck went to jail. He went to jail for, I think, 6 months. He went to camp, juvenile camp. And he wrote these raps. He wrote Ice Cream Man.
We went to 10th grade. You know what I mean? We started going to different schools. It was a lot of us, yeah, it was a lot of us. About, it wasn't 8, it was about a good 5 or 6. I'd say 5 or 6, literally. But we had a crew. As far as the rap, there's only like 5 or 6 of them. But
so how did you then handle down to just y'all two?
Because me and him was hustling. Me and him was out there in the streets together.
Well, BWP, it was, like I said, it was 7 of us, then Yuck. Me and Yuck was just the only ones who really, I guess, understood rap, and we really wanted to do it, you know what I mean? So we the only ones we kept doing talent shows, shit like that. We going to Berkeley, doing the freestyle circles, and we the only ones that just stuck to it. You know, and after that, you know, it was me and him forever.
I mean, I ended up being down with the group, but I wasn't like the superior rapper. Numb, Keon, and Kevin Choice. They was the big time dope ass rappers. Like at lunchtime, they shut shit down.
When we first started, it was like it was me and him and a couple of more people. We just hit the freestyle circle, try to get everybody to hear. And people noticed us because we rap about stuff we didn't do. You know, we rap about everything we do. You know, and it be fake people. But now we be in Berkeley, you know, hitting the freestyle circles, developing skills. That's where everybody circle, a cipher, freestyling.
That was the first shit just playing around with it. But when I got serious is when I got to camp. Like I say, that shit was rap gladiator school, and a lot, like, from my juvenile, you know what I mean, in Oakland, a lot of people became stars in Juvenile Hall. You know, shout out to Scary X, Sibo. Niggas made they mark in jail, in Juvenile. You know what I mean? And made them songs that was popping in Juvenile. Then when they got out, they recorded them. You know what I mean? So I'm writing that circle, you know what I mean, with the, you know what I mean, the Scary X's and Sibo. This nigga's in jail right at the same time I'm in jail. Demo from Get Low Players that fuck with JT the Bigger Figure. He's in there with me. Fooney, another Oakland dope ass rapper. He's in there with me. This is hella people, just hella people rapping, you know what I mean? So at that time, this made me step it up, period. And my first song I wrote in the midst of all this shit, trying to make, really, my nigga Demo. Let me lower it down. My nigga Demo from Get Low Players, JT the Bigger Figure artist. They was taking this nigga on tour in jail for his song. He had a song called Cancer Stick.
Within a few years' time, the Looney Tunes started to define themselves among the Bay Area rap elite, battling local MCs for recognition and popularity. Numbskull and Yuckmouth began to grab the attention of the rap community while defining their own individual styles.
It was because both of their connection to the streets is legit, and both of them are well known and got stripes out here. They are relevant factors in the streets with or without the music. So what makes them different, I think, is Yuck's style is really what influenced Numb to want to stay at it and get at it in a major way. I'm sure it was rough for Numb finding his own identity for a while, but it was just a hunger to do it because Yuck was so prolific early on.
To me, it's like it's fire and ice. You know what I mean? It seemed like Numb is cool as ice. You know what I'm saying? He calm, he chill. You know what I'm saying? Yuck gonna give you that, you know, that fire. He gonna give you that flame. He gonna give you that Bay Area slang. He gonna give you that yada da. You know what I'm saying? He gonna give you all the things that just, you know, kind of captivate you and draw you in.
I mean, Yuck is a lyrical monster. He's a lyrical monster. Numb is a beast too, and what people don't know is Numb sits on a track, but if you want him to go in, he goes in. You know what I'm saying? And they both attack the beat differently. You know what I'm saying? But they complement each other. Like Yuck's style was more kind of like I would say like a jazz musician. It was more of a swing. It was like he would find more creative ways to kind of attack the rap. There's a element of clowning around, you know, grooving. You know what I'm saying? They keep it funky still, but then they get on the track and they just verbally are monsters.
Well, Yuckmouth style was like just eerie, you know what I'm saying? Just a raggedy, nasty flow for that ass, you know?
Now they ready to put the lead on ya. How would you like it if a nigga was broke and came fed on ya?
His patterns were different, you know what I mean? Numb's patterns were more simple, but they were just as effective because they were simple. Kind of like the reason Too Short is still as big and iconic as he is because even though his rap style was simple, you got all the meat and potatoes. It wasn't no mystery what he was talking about.
Numbskull's flow is just a slow flow, like to get the actual factual facts across.
Spell out, so I'm opposed to the fullest. Only serving Ben, the ice cream man is out again.
Being that they were both from the town, they captured the culture. So the culture gravitated to them. But they're so different in, you know, Numb is more of a conspiracy theorist, Discovery Channel, History Channel type of dude. Yuck is more of high times. I need you to let's get out here and see what the pulse of the streets is, what the pulse of the music industry, all that type of shit is.
It didn't take long for the two to figure out that they had camaraderie on the mic. Locally, their names started to build a buzz when a local street hustler turned label named CNH convinced them to let him handle the music business, and Numb and Yuck should focus more on getting into the studio and out of the streets.
Man, Yuck we were doing dirty shit. I mean, we was robbing motherfuckers and everything when we was young. But both our parents, his grandmother and my mom and dad, they kicked us out the house like young. You know what I mean? And the only thing we could do really was rob or rap.
Because me and him was hustling. Me and him was out there in the streets together, you know what I mean? So, and then high school, like that was junior high school. Now when high school comes, you go to different high schools. So me and him went to Oakland Tech. A lot of people went to Oakland High, just separate different high schools split us up. You know what I mean? And the last two that was always together was me and Num. So me and Num just became best friends, period. You know what I mean? I was in and out of jail on this hustle shit. I wasn't really taking the rap shit serious. He wasn't either. We was both in the streets, and I got a bid for a year. You know what I mean, in camp, and that's when I really locked down and started getting serious with the rap shit.
It just depends on what you believe your limitations are. And they transcend, them niggas from the streets, from the block, you understand me? I'm talking dirty niggas. You seen them before the video, dirty. Dirty street cats, you know what I'm saying? The type of cats you walk by in there, you grab your Newports and your drink, you head out, you walk past them every day. They were that, they are that. But it's just a different look at it. It's all about perspective, you know what I'm saying? Those are still the same cats from then, but now look at what you're looking at now. You're looking at some really, some staples in the music industry as a whole.
We knew it was something we could do. Right. We knew you could make money at it, and shit, niggas was tired of selling crack, so, you know what I mean, it was.
And that's the thing, I heard y'all was real street guys, like real street dudes.
Well, we had, I mean, I'll show you later on, we had a whole apartment building. I'm talking about really like the Carter, you know what I mean? And me and Yuck ran it ourselves. We got it from his cousin, but we ran the whole apartment building ourselves, you know what I mean? So, yeah, we were selling a lot of crack, man.
Eventually, BWP would break down to the most ambitious members of the clique, and that would be Numbskull and Yuckmouth, whose styles of rap complemented each other, and they would eventually change their name from BWP to the Looney Tunes.
When we was in junior high school, we was doing the shit trying to send a demo and all that shit, trying to be the next ABC, Another Bad Creation. That was like when that shit was going crisscross. That was around that type of shit. So we like, this shit ain't working. So we going straight to the street. So boom, a drought. That's when you can't buy no dope. Or the dope is high, whoever got it. They sell it high, whoever got it. So we gonna link up with somebody to get some dope in a drought. And CNH, the nigga that be with Too Short, happened to be there. So I'm like, okay, you know, it's cool, fuck it. We weighing up, counting out and shit. I'm like, okay, fuck this, bruh. You fuck with Too Short, right? He's like, yeah, I fuck with Short. I said, we rap, nigga. He said, what's your rap name? I said, we the Looney Tunes. I said, I'm Numbskull, this nigga, I said, I'm Yuck, this nigga Numbskull, you know. But when I was in jail, I came with the whole blueprint. I came with the name Looney Tunes. I made the Condom Man. I'm a cartoonist. I made the Condom Man. I made my name and his name.
And yeah, I think we went over there and rapped for him one day or something. He was like, yeah, I can put y'all in the studio. I got another artist named Drew Down. Went to the studio with Drew. We ended up doing 7 songs on that boy album.
This the man that made everything possible, you know what I'm saying, as far as CNH, you know what I'm saying? That's Still Can't Sugar, my producer, you know what I'm saying? Straight from the streets, we both from the streets, and that's how it all happened.
You know what I mean? We turned to CNH, like, okay, man, shout out to Too Short, but I have my own record label. My artist name is Drew Down. Come to the studio tomorrow. Dangerous Studio. We recording in Too Short studio. Okay, cool. So we come down there. We thinking that, oh God, we get to, you know, see Too Short studio, get to meet Too Short. This shit gonna be bomb. We didn't know he was getting set up for the ooh-ah. Come through that motherfucker, right? Too Short got his artist. Bad Influence. Rest in peace to my nigga Rappin' Rhyme. Rappin' Rhyme went to fucking junior high school with us. He was around with us rapping at lunchtime. They was spanking him. He was nothing. He was nothing. So they was like, Show was like, yeah, I got my artist, Bad Influence, Rappin' Rhyme and Dilly Dog. And you got your artist, the Luniz. You know what I mean? Let's have a bet, a battle. You know what I mean? A battle. Whoever loses got to buy the whole studio piece up. CNA's like, fuck that, man. Let's go, man. Nigga, yeah, get up.
The way they got us out the game, CNH, we knew we had a deal on the horizon. And
now CNH is the independent label.
Yeah, the first person that put us, well, not the first person to put us in the studio, but the first person to put money behind us.
Right.
So when CNH came, he was like, look, man, we got some shit on the horizon. We can't have y'all niggas going to jail. We going to jail all the time, you know what I mean? And he like, we can't have that shit, so y'all can't sell crack no more. I mean, they actually stopped motherfuckers from selling us the powder in Oakland. We couldn't get no powder from nobody.
We was trapping, man. Me and them, we had a fucking apartment together since we like fucking 15, 16. We was renting out dope fiends apartments where we was selling dope. So we'd be in that motherfucker with the beatbox on, you know what I mean, writing and shit like that. So we had little trap spots, you know what I mean, that we could go to. We had friends that was DJs and shit, people that make beats. We go to their little spots. They got the little DJ setup.
Part of building your rep in Oaktown was to battle the other local rappers that was bubbling at that time. And getting into that circle meant you had to bring your A game.
I mean, this nigga got his artist, which be an artist that we know, rapping Ron, who went to junior high school with us, and we was rapping circles around this nigga. I'm at the bottom of the totem pole in the crew with BWP. Right. And nigga, I could rap circles around this nigga at that time. So when they brought him up, I'm like, what? Murder this nigga, man, right? Little did I know, he sharpened up too. So, boom, we get the rapping, right? It's 3 against 1. It's Rapper Ron and Dilly Dog and Eclipse. Who's my cousin? I ain't know at that time, but this ended up being my cousin, one of my second or third cousins through family. So I'm gassing niggas. Aunt Dilly, out of here. Eclipse out of here. So it's just me and Aunt. Post all night like last night. I got to get my groove on, put my boots on, and go to the shit and get some screws on. Me and Rapper Ron going back to back. Now Rapper Ron is a freestyler dude. You know what I mean? I was saying written, so he could freestyle about what hat you got on, the headphones, so old school players back in the day. This is like 93. Old school players, you know what I mean, with they old school cars and shit, and they don't understand like, you know what I mean, real element of hip hop like that. So he'd be rapping about a nigga t-shirt or something. A nigga had, TV with the hat and the rollie. Whoop, whoop, your whoop, my homie. Like, just making everybody feel good. They like, whoa. They was like, you know what I mean? Because he was just controlling the room and rapping about everybody in the room. I'm like, man, that's cheating, nigga. You ain't really gassing me, my nigga, period. So what really made them just end the battle, man, he said something like, it was the last one, he said, man, see, they go roll that reefer. And Yuck Mouth, you lost. How that nigga go get them pieces? Everybody said, he got it, he won. Nigga, it was over. I couldn't even rap no more. After he said go get the pieces, nigga, the whole studio said, Niggas fell out. I'm like, nigga. And I lost by default because I just say Ice Cream Man. I was still holding on to it like Seagram was there. Like, cause it was all the big niggas. It was Too Short, Spice One, nigga, Pooh Man, nigga, Richie Rich, nigga, all the big dogs in the Bay was everybody but 40. Right. Everybody, all the Oakland motherfuckers was there. Period. Hassani, Goldie, fucking, what's my nigga, Father Dom. All the dangerous crew was there. Ant Banks, nigga, all of them is there. Period. I'm not about to say my prize jewel that just got me signed to these niggas so somebody could take it. You see what Master P did? He still took it. Even though it came out like, fuck that, I'm the Ice Cream Man. Like, I knew what I had. You know what I mean? I didn't say it. If I would have said Ice Cream Man, nobody could rap after that. It would have been a rap. Ice Cream Man, bitch, don't you hear the music? I got the shit, fiends holler at me when they use it. I got shit sold to pimp those broke ass nymphos. Got them sucking dick, you pintos. Guarantee it's not a soda rock. You could bring cash money, food stamps that we could swap. Stolen goods for a fat ass doom. Sweet fiends off the feet like a broom.
Early in the group's career, Yuck penned a song called Ice Cream Man that ended up making some noise on Drew Down's album. Later on, Yuck would feel Master P's song Ice Cream Man borrowed the same title and concept of their video, which caused a serious rift between the group and Master P.
Nah, he bit me. He bit my shit. I made mine in 92 in Juvenile. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna tell you where it came from. When we were selling dope in Oakland, we called it cream. We called crack cream, ice cream. We weren't calling it crack, we called it cream. So Cube had a song called The Dope Man at the time, you know what I mean, for Eazy-E. So I took the concept of the Dope Man and turned it to the Ice Cream Man because we call our shit ice cream in Oakland, period. So he's from Richmond or whatever, This is Oakland terminology, my nigga. Cream. This is not Richmond. I don't know. No disrespect to Richmond, but we calling that shit cream in Oakland, my nigga. This ain't Vallejo. This ain't Sacramento. Nowhere else in Northern was calling it cream but Oakland. Period. The first crack rock was made in Oakland.
It's been like a tug of war based on who was the first person to have this or who stole it. You know what I mean?
Why was P saying that they stole it?
Nah, I was just, well, you got to think, this is the camp that I'm with.
Right.
So everything we hearing from supposedly what Master P said is like hearsay. But they're saying, they said, you know what I mean? But we all knew that Yuck had penned that idea, you know what I mean? But in the grand scheme of things, great minds think alike, you know what I mean? So, you know, I wasn't there with P whenever he got the idea of how he attached himself to the Ice Cream Man. So I can't speculate, you know what I mean? But there was a time frame where it was like, you know, Master P was at his height, like he's huge. He still is a huge icon. But people knew like don't fuck around with P. P ain't, you know, P with the shit.
We called the shit cream, so I made the Ice Cream Man instead of Dope Man, like Ice Cube. So P came years later. He came in 96. I made my shit in 92, and Juvenile Hall did 93, got out, and recorded it for Drew Down album.
P went as far as he stole the ice cream truck, the one that we had in the video. He did an ice cream truck, you know what I mean? We did the Ice Cream Man song. He did an Ice Cream Man song.
You know what I mean? We came with the ice cream truck on the Triple Gold Days, the video. You know what I mean? Ice Cube took from me then. I took from him, right. He took from me, because on Friday, which followed up in 94, 95, you got Big One. Drew Down had with the ice cream truck on the Triple Gold Days, but he got it all painted purple or something. It ain't white.
I remember at times touring with the Luniz, and we would get word, oh, Master P's out here, or Master P just left this city, or, you know. And
so it was really a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the air. You know, this is pre-internet. Right. So there was no, you couldn't read about it. It was like talked about, like word of mouth, spread, you know, word of mouth type shit. So, yeah, it was in the air.
Did y'all ever have words with P? Or it was just an indirect kind of?
No, I mean, we all, you know, saw each other, and, you know, we all performed at the same shows sometime in the Bay Area. And me and Young, I mean, I'm performing with a Uzi in my back, you know what I mean? Because it's niggas is talking some janky shit. Like, this is gonna go down. Okay, then let it go down.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was getting there. We was fucking with Too Short, Jose, and Master P all at the same time.
Right.
And then, and you know, we know Oakland niggas gonna get down. So, all right, let's do it.
But I never saw them flinching or anything. I mean, I remember one tour we definitely had security, and I would see Yuck move in ways where I'd be like, bro, you know you got security, like wait for your security. You know what I mean? Like Yuck wasn't tripping, he wasn't tripping off that shit. He's just moving on through, you know. And I've always admired Yuck for that. He's fearless and fearless.
So from jail in 92 to coming out, making a video, being on Drew Down's album with the Triple Gold Days, to be on Ice Cube shit, to Master P taking it. Right. Who would think that battle song that I made in the midst of niggas battling would be that powerful? You know what I mean? That everybody took something off of it, you know what I mean? Ice Cream Man got us our deal. I turned the drug deal into a record deal and got the fucking deal with the song that I made in camp. Look how God worked. You know what I mean? Look how God worked. That same motherfucking song. This song was a hit in the neighborhood. You know, rest in peace to my big homie Seagram. This shit was so much of a hit in the neighborhood, just with me just beating my chest and slapping on my, you know, just saying it to niggas, beating on the wall, beating on the car, whatever, just saying. Everybody knew it word for word, to where my homeboy, this is where you had to have this wasn't even beeper. You had to have a beeper, or you had to have a nigga house number. Nigga called my house, Seagram. Was like, yo, man, let me buy the Ice Cream Man song. He heard about it in the Ville. You know, we both from the same projects. Every nigga in my neighborhood saying the song word for word. This shit ain't ever even came out. This just me in the neighborhood saying it. Everybody know it. They able to say it to this nigga. You're like, ooh, I need that.
Things finally came together for Numbskull and Yuckmouth, and they started to put their rap ideas onto paper.
Got 'em sucking dick and pit toes. I guarantee it's not a soda rock. You can bring cash, money, food stamps, so we can swap stolen goods.
Our first raps, Ice Cream Man and all that stuff like that, the songs that we actually put on Drew Down album, those songs were songs that Yuck created in Juvenile Hall. And when he came home from Juvenile Hall, he was like, look, I got this song, and he would say them to me, and then I would write my verses to him. That's how we first started. But after that, it was like, whenever we sat down, whenever we were somewhere, we were already rapping, we would get together and just write songs. We'll see something on TV or something, it'd be hella funny, and we'll make a joke about it, and we're like, oh, whatever we said about it, it'd be like, we need to write that. And that's how we came up with shit. We would sit together and write, for sure.
You gotta grind, you know what I mean? You gotta grind, so we working on Drew Down's album, you know what I mean? Which is recorded all in Dangerous Studio, Too Short shit. So we think we family. We thinking that we all same crew, all this shit, you know what I mean? We put the Ice Cream Man on Drew Down shit. We shoot the video with the ice cream truck, rave reviews, all that shit. Then we shoot Pimp of the Year.
So Drew came out with his independent album first, which was the same album, just a couple more songs that went on Relativity. Before he got on Relativity, we dropped an album, the Looney Tunes album. And then we did the 7 songs with him on his album that went to Relativity. And that's how we got like major notice.
After we do Drew Down shit, it's time to work on our shit. The first song we make for our shit is I Got 5 on it.
I like that. What about y'all? Do y'all smoke weed in this motherfucker? Hell yeah! Hell yeah! I know y'all smoke weed, y'all right here. We need to send this to my man, Afro Man. Yeah, let's do this shit, big girl. Everybody, I got 5 on it. Put your motherfucking 5s up, put the 9s up, put the 4s up. If you smoke, let's go. I got 5 on it. I got 5 on it. I got 5 on it. I got 5 on it.
I think from the beginning, we were already thinking about making big records. We didn't want to make just a regional song. We never did. That was the one thing about the Luniz. We were not. Motherfuckers in the beginning, they didn't even think we were from Oakland.
To be real, I honestly thought it was from the East Coast, but then I looked it up. I think back then I kind of knew that they were from the West Coast, but I could tell their beat was a little different than the West Coast beat, to be honest. It was more like a Southern style, and that bass line was so heavy, so it appealed to the Dirty South big time, man. And I know we used to pump that thing on a regular basis.
We was like, yo, it's the day of the remake. We like, what have they haven't done yet? We was like, they did the Rumors, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, they haven't did Why You Treat Me So Bad. Nigga, I went to the motherfucking record store, grabbed that bitch, me and we went and go grabbed it.
5 on it. 62nd Avenue. Broke, couldn't sell crack no more. Little bit of food in the house. Me and Yuck eating grilled cheese sandwiches. And I think I said, it's like, bro, we need some weed or something like that. I'm like, I got 5 on it. He's like, I got 5 on it. And that's how that song came about.
Tone Capone to remake it. You know, usually a producer had a beat playing. That nigga that had that beat playing, we should have got co-production on that. You know what I mean? Literally, we didn't know the game back then. We was like, yo, here, do this. We had the hook, we had the concept, everything. But the good thing about, you know, how teamwork make the dream work, okay, I had the hook, but it didn't sound good with me rapping it. Tone was like, we need a singer, bro.
Okay, they rapping about some silly ass shit about going to get some weed, right? Right. And then you got Mike Marshall bringing it up. You know, he's got that voice that lifts it up.
I've always found it weird that the generation that's been listening to I Got 5 on it have just listened to it and not really wondered who was singing it. Because when I was younger, we would really be in the back of these records looking at credits and all that, trying to figure out who was doing the thing that we liked the most. And it's clear that my voice is the biggest and most important thing on the track.
On that song is a little sinister too, if you think about it.
But the thing about it though is like if you, I'm gonna tell you what gives it the sinisterness, right? It's the bells. That is it. Right, but it's also that I got an effect on the bells that makes the bells sound like they cry. They wobble. They go.
There's some people that know how to make good music. They're called musicians. There's some people that really can't rap but just have a taste for, or just have a flair for just riding beats. And you just dig their style. You might, he ain't really saying shit, but man. And you fuck with it. And that's the beauty of hip hop and music. I think the Luniz encompass all of that. You can get your share of the lyricism. You can get your share of the relaxed, down to earth type feel that you get when you're sitting in a room full of your partners and you talking and you kicking and you smoking. You get all that. You get that action in the streets, and then you got that fire. They both can spit flameola, so it's nothing to it.
Okay, Yuck. This is Yuck think he had that album, but I know I walked around with that album for 4 or 5 months. I used to carry that album around with me.
You talking about the original?
The 12-inch single. I'm like, I know I brought that. Tone Capone could probably tell him that too. Yeah, I brought that to Tone Capone's house when he made the beat. So yeah, that was the kid. That was the kid.
That was your genius.
Yeah, and see, what Yuck don't remember. See, Yuck say I made up the song and the idea of the song. Actually, it was both of us right there. I got 5 you. Right. That's how that came up. But that album, yeah, I used to carry that around.
He get the nigga that's with Club Nouveau.
Right.
To come down and sing the hook and shit. The rest is history, bro.
Yeah, I ain't even smoked, didn't even know what half the stuff in the song meant at that time, because I was just so green at the time, man. And as soon as they play that joint, the crowd get crazy just because of the beat. That beat, and then the way he came with the lyrics, the little cadence was dope as hell.
Numb, man. No, we was broke as fuck. It was just being broke in a trap, you know what I mean? And we was pitching in, you know what I mean? Period. No, we just freestyling, you know what I mean? I got 5 on it. I got 5. What you got, nigga? I said, damn, I think I got $2 in my sock, nigga. And then we just start going back to back, just playing. We're like, fuck it, let's write it down. And then we like, fuck it, let's call it I got 5 on it. So you notice, like, the original 5 on it got that song, the verse where we just talking back to back. That's how it really started, where we just on the way to get the sack. Right. You know what I mean? Then the label got it like, nah, you gotta structure it to this verse, that verse, and that verse, 16s and shit. But that first verse was about 30, 48 bars, 40, hella long when we just going back to back. Then we do our verses, they about 32 bars each. That song's about 7 minutes, the first, literally. So when we got the version, they, that damn near signed us, you know what I mean? Because when they had the attention, we played that for them like, oh, y'all got your single already.
We was excited to hear that. When we got out there, this is what I did tell you. When we got out there and they was like, hey, so let us hear some raps. It wasn't no regular, like just bust right there. And then we jumped all on the conference table and all that shit. You know what I mean? That's how, we was like, we gonna get this. We gonna let these motherfuckers know we serious. Right after that, they signed us.
Right there.
Right then and there, they signed us.
We did 5 on it, on the table. Rockin' nigga, we was like 21, what's the nigga name, man? That just went to Bobby Smurder. On my mama, like Bobby Smurder dancing on the tables and rapping and kicking shit over, saying our shit, doing our thing. They loved us. We in motherfucking Beverly Hills at Virgin Records. You know what I mean? This is where Janet Jackson, Mariah Carey, all these big motherfuckers signed at this time. We blown out, we fucking amazed. So the good thing about Virgin, they made a black department called New Tribe. So it was all ran by, like hip-hop oriented type of people, man. So it was cool. It was real cool. It was dope. One of the dopest labels I ever been on.
Why you wanna play hate on me?
It was a bittersweet moment for the Luniz, even though they got signed on the spot. Later, it would cause some legal woes for signing a contract without a lawyer present. According to Numbskull, it's something that he wrestles with to this very day.
Right there. Right then and there, they signed us.
Wow.
Yep.
So,
now I know today, to sign them contracts real quick, nah, buddy.
right.
Had them lawyers.
Right.
Had them lawyers ready.
You guys signed without any lawyers. He said, we want to sign you, and y'all was like,
Yes, sir. Yeah. We made a lot of money. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
We made millions. We spent millions.
So y'all had a big budget.
Our budget was only $125,000, which probably for rappers back then was a good deal. You know what I mean? But it's to the contract you got to read. You know what I mean?
So you said you made millions of dollars touring or through sales?
Just on sales, we made millions.
Yeah, that's almost huge.
Yeah, we made a lot of fucking money on sales. Can't do it now. You ain't selling shit now. But
So
yeah,
you guys were millionaires early?
definitely.
Did they ever cut those checks to y'all?
Yeah, straight to us. Straight to bank. My first check, it was 1 month and 14 days after the album came out. I went to the bank with I think it was $385,000. That was my first check. After 45 days after the album came out. Went straight to the bank with $385,000 check.
Wow.
Yep, that's how I opened my first bank account.
How old were you?
I was 19 years old.
I know you could cut up like a motherfucker with that guy.
We didn't know what to do with that shit.
And that was your check. That wasn't both of y'all.
That was mine. He had his. Yep. We didn't know what to do with that, man. We niggas from the streets selling crack. You know what I mean? You get that much money, it's over.
We sold 3 million worldwide. You know what I mean?
What was your first check?
$500,000, 250. Nums was 250.
Num said, I'm gonna give you his number. He said y'all had about 385 apiece.
Nah, we got a deal for $500,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so but other shit, of course, yeah. But
I guess
the
your first
biggest
royalty
one check, yeah.
Right.
The biggest one check was 250.
Oh,
Yeah. Back then, yeah. You getting checks the 70s and 30s and 50s, but you ain't got no 250 at one time. When we got a publisher deal, 250 off the rip. Then our second album, we got damn near almost $1 million budget, so it's another couple $100,000 to the, you know what I mean, each of the fellas. But other than that, I think the publisher deal, we got our biggest check, period.
How do you look at labels now?
Back then, we thought it was the greatest to be on a major label. Oh yeah, we got it now, we own. Labels ain't shit. The people running them ain't shit. The people who follow the people who running them ain't shit. They know what they doing to these artists. Why is it that these artists make so much money and these people always say they care about these artists, but they don't set up nothing for them? They don't show them how to deal with this money. They don't show them what to do with this money, because it's not for that. We're here to be used and for them to make money off us. That's all it is, especially as black artists.
Oakland, the Bay Area, has their own way of doing things. Not just when it comes to music. The culture is just different. Folks there, they rep their city. There's a lot of cool things that originated in Oakland, and the Luniz are just one of them.
Oakland, man. We really our own type of close-knit area where we just rock like how we only rock. We don't rock like nobody, like we don't gang bang. No Bloods and Crips, only like the Mexicans, they do the North Daniel thing. That's the only time you get some gang bang thing going on, or when you go to jail, you know, you gotta do your cards or whatever. But even in there, we don't have no color on our card, you know what I mean? But basically, man, we our own entity in California, man. There ain't nobody in California like Oakland.
You know, in California, people like to put us all in one basket, but anybody tell you quick that when you're in Los Angeles, they'll tell you, you must be from Northern Cali, you must be from the town, you must be from Oakland. And the same with them. When they come up to Northern Cali, we'll be like, you from LA, you from Southern Cal, you from SoCal? We know, because the cultures are so different.
The independence here is just like so crazy. Everybody here in Oakland just has this mentality of, I'm gonna make it happen one way or another, with you, without you. I'm gonna grind and I'm gonna find a way to make shit happen. If I gotta go through you, over you, around you, one way or another, I'm gonna figure it out. You know what I mean?
Everybody in the Bay comes to Oakland for the game. You know what I mean? Like niggas in Vallejo, niggas in Frisco, niggas in Richmond, niggas in East Palo Alto, San Jose, Fairfield, Sacramento, whatever. Everybody had to come to Oakland because Oakland was the show, was the stage. Oakland is the stage for the ballers to come flaunt they shit. You know, we got the strips for niggas to ride down these boulevards like Crenshaw Boulevard, but we got MacArthur, you know what I mean, Foothill, you know what I mean, East 14, where all these drug dealers, these kingpins ride these Rolls Royces, these candy painted, you know what I mean, Benzes and candy painted this, that, and the third, Ferrari, not Ferraris, but Porsches and shit like that, you know what I mean, along with the old school cars. Everybody come get they dismount. Like everybody come, it's like the Olympics, yo, dismount, boom. You ride down the street in your Chevy with your gold Daytons and your shit beating, and everybody want to come to the Bay to show off because this is the land of the bosses, man.
With the success of 5 on It was all it took for the Looney Tunes to shorten their name to the Luniz in fear of a lawsuit. The group is touring and traveling the world and making money. The label is catering to their every need, and why shouldn't they when they have a multi-platinum selling act?
At that time too, 5 on It is one of those timeless hip hop classics. Pretty much, if it's not, it should be in everybody's top 5 hip hop classic songs because it still gets played on the radio a lot, non-stop. You hear it all the time, the clubs and everything, movies, all of that.
Mention of like marijuana or like who was pushing that agenda probably was the Chronic, I guess, that I can remember from that time frame. And even then it was like, yeah, that's the Chronic, yeah, whatever, boom. You know what I mean? Snoop smoked and whatever, and everybody did their thing. But that 5 on It was like, it pushed it. Like I said, it was the way they packaged it. They packaged it as a fucking hit record.
I think you got to put everything into context. So at the time, you know what I'm saying, when the Luniz came out with I Got 5 on It, it was so hot in the streets. It was so fire, like John Bl- It was that new Oakland was back with some more hot fire. You know what I'm saying? From Too Short to all of that. But it transcended. People didn't even know where they was from. They heard the song and they just, the weed, it got it. Like, who don't smoke weed?
It was like Looney Tunes, you know what I mean, and the Luniz, and I was confused, but when the song came on, I was like, because you know where the song comes from. I mean, the main bass line of the song. So, you know, little did I know that years later, you know, these would be my people, you know, and we're like family.
You know what I'm saying? From Cypress Hill to, you know, Funk Doc Spot, you know what I'm saying, Redman? The weed songs was really, you know, kind of out there, but this was the anthem.
So you have to be influenced by hit records. Everybody's influenced by hit records because you hear it and you've heard it, and now it's a part of your DNA. So we all, 5 on It is part of all our lives. We all been influenced by that shit.
Numbskull and Yuckmouth had the opportunity to bring the Bay Area legends together. The song exploded and so did the music video. According to Yuck and Numb, the studio session was unforgettable.
Basically, man, you know, you being from the East Coast, everybody, man, we took a page out of, man, we was biting. We took a page out of Puff Daddy and fucking Craig Mack shit, Flavor of the Year remix when they did the LL Cool J. Right. And Biggie Smalls and everybody was on the Busta Rhymes and shit, so they did the shit, Rampage, they did it in black and white. So we was like, shit, it's a perfect opportunity to do the West Coast version, you know what I mean?
That was a good night. 40, Spice One, Shock G, Auntie, Drew Down, Richie Rich. 40 was so drunk he couldn't finish his verse that night. He had to come back the next day and do it. That's the first time that nigga brought out Slurricane for us. Hurricane. We gone that night. But 40 was, Richie Rich actually killed that song. Anybody ever asked who killed that song? Richie Rich. That nigga verse he was the dopest on that. Oakland in attempts to crack the chest plate. The zips be so fluffy, the whole town love me. At every event, I'm sacked up, so if you need me, scream double R when you see me. Killed that shit. He killed it. When we do shows, we did I think it was something like a summer jam. And this was the first time we all got on stage to do the remix together. This like a year and a half, couple years ago. First time we had ever been on the same stage together to do it.
Everybody.
Yeah, well, Shock G, he wasn't there. But everybody.
Damn, Shock G.
Yeah, it was Shock, bruh. What's happening? But it was amazing. But when that Richie Rich verse came on, that was the one. It tore the house down.
So we wanted to just get to all the people that we love, you know what I mean? E40, Digital Underground, Spice One, Richie Rich. You know, these are people we looked up to in the game. So it was an honor. Like, we had everybody but Too Short, but at the time we was beefing with Too Short.
Right.
But if we wasn't beefing with the nigga, he would have been on there too. So we basically, you know, just the people that paved the way for us in the Bay Area.
Right.
You know what I mean? We had everybody but Short and Hammer. Hammer, damn, I don't know what he was doing back at that time.
Mike Marshall, a singer-songwriter who was part of the 80s group Timex Social Club, was such an influential part of the Luniz 5 on It record. Producer Tone Capone decided to call Mike to sing on the hook. According to Mike, after the song hit big and the video was in rotation worldwide, his contribution was an afterthought.
All the success from I Got 5 on It, they missed me with it. They no calls. I've never performed that song with Yuck or Numb or anybody. The night that they invited me to the video shoot, no one was there but me. That's why when you see me in the video, it's just me and the strippers for just a second. I Got 5 on It did maybe 3 million albums, so that's just 3 million tally count. And I know people know my voice all over the world because I went over to Germany when the song got to its highest point here, but it was #1 over there. And Yuck and Numb and Chris Hicks, they wasn't gonna be able to leave the country to go to Germany. You know, they were young hustlers, so they definitely had legal issues, and Chris Hicks is a gangster, so I don't think he was gonna be able to leave and get over there. He didn't know how to talk to people anyway. So anyway, I was the one who went over there to do that. So I know, the whole world knows that. They know it, and they sing it, and that's the part that they sing, the I Got 5 on It part.
One Bay Area legend was noticeably missing from the remix video, which was Too Short. But prior to Too Short's absence from the music video, the two camps had clashed and a beef was brewing up for a while. It all came to a head backstage at the Bay Area Summer Jam, where things got ugly and respect went out of the window.
No, I mean, the beef wasn't even with the Luniz in Too Short. It was with C&H in Too Short. But since we rolling with C&H, yeah, we got your back. You know what I mean?
We ain't know our executive producer that did some shit against somebody in his crew. So our executive producer and this one person in Too Short's crew has been having eternal beef for like fucking years.
This is before we even did our first CD.
Right.
And because they used to run together, you know what I mean? Everybody was doing their thing.
I ain't knowing this. Like when we first meet him, he's going through this beef with this dude. So even before Summer Jam, it's been a lot of different, you know, situations, you know what I mean? So I was already alert on him and that dude having a beef.
It wasn't...
Was it over money? Was it over music?
You know what, actually, I don't know what it was between them. What I heard, it was because Too Short, C&H brought us to Too Short, it's like, help me out with this group, and Too Short said no.
But when Short came up there, we didn't see that dude. You know what I mean? That dude wasn't nowhere. So I guess Short invited our executive to go talk to him so they could really squash whatever was going on, get to the bottom of it.
It's about 40 of us, 40 of them. And they say they want, somebody on the Short side say they want to talk to C&H alone. Let's go in here and talk in the room. We like, nigga, nah, we don't do that. Nigga, don't go in there. Nigga, stay with us. Nigga, we did. Nigga, they get down, we gonna get down. This nigga goes in the room by himself with them like he the man. Nah, I guess he trusted them because they used to be old friends. Nigga, ain't nobody to be trusted.
Right.
Especially the enemy, nigga. And that's how we saw them cats, as the enemies. He went in there anyway.
Nigga boy Short brought him in that trailer, man. And that dude who we thought wasn't there popped out the bathroom, man, and got busy on him. It was just one dude. He didn't get jumped or nothing. It was one dude who we had a problem with, and he got with him. You know what I mean? We thought he got jumped back there.
He got towed down. Beat that nigga ass. When we came out, it's like, bruh, You already been getting whooped by these niggas. This shit been happening to you. We ain't fucking with you no more, bruh. Making us look bad. Right. We ain't fuck with dudes since then.
You know what I mean? Like, we up there, we thick. That shit wouldn't have went down if we was together. You know, they waited for the perfect time to where we was on stage, lured him by himself, you know what I mean? So that happened, and it was bad taste after that. That's what really started the Luniz and Too Short beef, because at the end of the day, our executive producer can't rap. So now we got to be the voice for our executive producer, and that's how the beef started. We never had no problem with Too Short, never. But once that happened, you beat up our executive. We got to ride for our executive. We got to ride for home team, period. He can't rap. We going to gas this nigga on these bars. You know what I mean, period. You got to handle your business in the streets, though.
Supposedly there was a record that y'all was supposed to make about Too Short, or
No, after that, after we heard that, we're like, fuck that dude. You know what I mean? And honestly, it was not a mistake on me and Yuck part. We did what we thought we should do at that time. But really, we shouldn't have did that. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have been like, fuck that nigga, because that nigga never said, nah, I don't want to fuck with y'all. It was just through this nigga CNH. You know what I mean? So later on, we eventually we settled this shit. But before that, yeah, niggas was performing with Uzis in their back and shit. You know what I mean? That's how I'm on stage like this with a thing. Like, it was beef.
The Luniz scored big with 5 on it, released May 23rd, 1995, reaching #1 on the Billboard Top R&B and Hip Hop albums. Operation Stackola, the album, went certified platinum, joining the ranks of dominant Bay Area MCs like E40, Too Short, and Digital Underground. Through the success, Numb and Yuck slowly grew apart and would travel down separate roads. Somewhere on their journey, the once long-time close friendship would become as distant as the East and West Coast.
A lot of times people don't understand that. So when there's a personal dynamic to things and you are like brothers, now mind you, this shit will never get to a critical point, but there will be tension.
For a while, me and Yuck, we stuck together. You know what I mean? That's all we knew, me and him. So it was cool. It was cool until he did his solo album.
And I think at that point, just Yuck firing full stream into the Rap-A-Lot thing and the Albulation, which is a classic. So I mean, he had Nami on there, you know what I'm saying? But the tension and that people sensed was, I think, from a personal level, what they were going through in their life at that particular time.
So Numb decides to hop in the ring and diss me out of nowhere. He's working on his solo album, and one of his singles is dissing me.
Started probably before he actually did the album. These cats are whispering in his ear like, "You better than Numb."
Well, I knew Yuck had ties with Jay Prince because Yuck is from the Ville, and Jay Prince had signed Seagram, the late great Seagram, rest in peace. Seagram was from the Ville, so Rap-A-Lot had already had like ties with Oakland, and definitely the village from where Yuck is from. So I think that was kind of like just a natural progression.
I know it's a song. That shit was posted everywhere. I ain't gonna listen to that shit, man, because I had to, yeah. Okay. I get real upset, so I didn't want to, yeah. I still got respect for him. Right. So I didn't want to hear it. But I think a nigga played me like a bar too, and I went crazy. I went on my mixtape and made some shit called Bloody Mary.
And I think Yuck was aiming more towards, man, let me go in and bleed this shit out for whatever it's gonna be with this Rap-A-Lot thing. And Nummy was like, man, I gotta organize my shit and make sure because a faulty foundation is nothing to build on. You gotta make sure home is straight.
So while we recording this album, our producers, Tone Capone, and is at the time working with Mike Dean. They doing group production. So they doing group production on the Luniz shit, and they doing group productions on Scarface shit at the same time, which is the Untouchable album. So we all at the Enterprise working on the same albums at the same time. So they'd do a beat for Scarface, let him write, and then come in our studio, do a beat for us while he writing and laying his shit. So they was just studio hopping. So with all that being said, Jay Prince will be there.
I'm not talking about friends.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about industry. These industry folks.
Oh.
These record labels, or the people at the record label. But they, they telling him he should do a solo. They do this to all groups. I mean, it happens. This is what they do. But they tell him, yeah, you better than you should do all this shit by yourself. You know what I mean? And what I saw was maybe this cat is getting a big head. You know what I mean?
Numb, I hate to say it, but this is when we had our money. He was doing a lot of partying and shit. So a lot of times he wouldn't be at the studio. I'd be there conducting everything, like literally just putting songs together, you know what I mean, hooks, verses, everything, and just leave his part empty. Jay Prince would come in the studio. He done seen that shit about 5 to 6 times, you know what I mean? He was like, yo, you need your own fucking, you need your own deal. You doing all this shit yourself. That's what Jay Prince said. That's what he told me. He's like, you doing all this shit yourself. You need your own deal. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. I always wanted to be a group. You know what I mean? I never thought of going solo. You know what I mean? He put that like, yo, you nigga, you do it all. Why don't do it? You know what I mean? And then fucking Tone Capone, Rico, who's Devin the Dude's manager, who's from my neighborhood. Right. A lot of dudes that rap a lot. I mean, rap a lot had a lot of dudes from my neighborhood employed. So everybody's in Jay ear. You know, along with, they got my big homie Seagram, who try to buy ice cream man from me. He's over there. I just got on his album. So the wave is there. They like, yo, yuck, 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 yuck. And Jay was finally like, you the solo deal, dude. What are you doing? You doing all the work. Like, come on to rap a lot. And at that time, we had the nicknames. None was drink a lot. I was smoke a lot. He's like, you smoke a lot. That's rap a lot anyway, man. Come on board. Right. So, shit, I ain't turned down nothing but my collar. You know what I mean? The only thing I was mad about that version, CNH, our executive producer, didn't offer me a Numb solo, you know what I mean, gigs. Like, right. You know what I mean, like how the Wu-Tang did. They split it up, you know what I mean, different record labels, and they always come back and be the Wu-Tang on Loud Records. So I'm like, okay, we got this at Virgin Records. Why don't we spread the pie and then come back? Virgin had no problem with it because I went to Rap a Lot. Even though Rap a Lot was under Virgin, it still was a Virgin Records, but they had no problem with it. It was CNH that had a problem with it. So I do the move. I don't know. You gotta ask that dude. Interview that dude. I don't know what the fuck his problem was. But anyway, they need to sign off. He need to sign off and shit. He don't sign off for 2 years. That's why my album become a double album. I'm recording for 2 years, waiting for this nigga to sign off for me to be on Rap a Lot. You get it? That's how the album becomes a double album. I went from just having an album to having 2 albums. 1 year I worked on one, the next year worked on another one. Boom, double album. Waiting for to get the permission to even go to Rap a Lot. So when I finally get the clearance to go to Rap a Lot, they have a clause that I'm not in the Luniz no more. Yeah, the nigga CNH. So it's like, why would you do all of that? Like, I know the Wu-Tang niggas, when they got their solo deals, there was no clause, you're not in the Wu-Tang no more. Right. So it was just a lot of hate from the beginning. So that's what made me stop fucking with him all in all. Like, yo, you really hating on the motherfucker. You hating because I got another opportunity to get money, and you hating because you didn't do it. You kicking yourself in the ass. Don't kick yourself in the ass at the same time, get mad at me. You slipped up. Okay, now it's your turn to put out Numb then. You didn't, okay, cool, you missed out on Yuck. Why don't you put out Numb solo? Didn't even do that, was more focused on me. Why don't you put out Drew Down new solo? Didn't even do that. Everything was focused on me. Like, I stopped something. I ain't stopped shit. You still got Drew. You still got Numb. What are you doing with them? You know what I mean? So long story short, shit don't work out. They don't, I guess Drew ended up getting dropped from Relativity. Numb and them ain't doing nothing that version. So it comes to a point they want to do another Looney album. I'm like, fuck it, man. I'll bring you out a Rap a Lot.
I never, ever got mad at that dude for doing no solo album. I was always happy for him. But this ain't what you would hear from other people. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't speak on it or something like that. Motherfuckers like, he mad because Yuck doing his own thing, Never was. Yuck never came to me and said, are you mad? Or do you have any problems with me doing solo? Not at all. When he first told me he was doing a solo and he got a deal over at Rap a Lot, I was like, my nigga. Hell yeah. How many songs I'm going to do on that? Right. You know what I mean? It was never no, shit, can I get one? No, it was never like that. I never even wanted to be a solo artist. Like I said, in the beginning, I had a group with me. I like to put all my niggas on. I like to rap with motherfuckers, push ideas off each other. I was never a solo artist. I never felt like a solo artist.
So this is when things in your head is starting to change about the perception of you guys.
But it's mostly how is Numb feeling about this separation. First of all, I didn't even know it was a separation. I didn't think of it as a separation. He was doing this project, and then we was gonna do another Looney album when he done. Right. That was all. That's all. That's the only way I thought about it. Right. So
how did you end up on tour with Digital Underground? So you took that opportunity while he was working on the album to go.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Yeah. DU, when we did the I Got Five on a remix, me and Shock and Mun, we all became hella close. Hella close.
How tight was you with Shock?
With Shock? Yeah, Shock called me twice a week right now. Right. That's how good we are. Mun, I see Mun all the time. Talk to Mun all the time. Right. But when Yuck was doing his thing, they asked me to come out on tour with him and do verse on 5 on it, come out as a special guest. It's like, hell yeah, I go out there. Yeah, I love DU, you know what I mean? And I went out with him for 5 years. 5 years we stayed on tour. Actually, it was Lil J who called me and was like, I want you to do another Looney album. This was the Silver and Black album. By this time, it was funk. It was beef between me and Yuck. You know, we wasn't gonna go to the streets with it. You know what I mean? That's my brother. I would never put harm on him. You know what I mean?
But it was more like,
it's like I'm not fucking with that dude. Right. I can't fuck with him. You know what I mean? And it all stemmed from you believe other niggas over me, but you don't talk to me. And I hated that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't fuck with dude. To me, you done changed, bro. You not my brother. And I just couldn't fuck with him. So when Jay called, they were like, we want to give you some money to do this album. Gave me money from my pocket. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna let them, it's the close, I ain't gonna say nothing about it, but I got some money just to come back and do that album. Cause I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do no more albums with him. So they gave me some dough, come back, we did the Silver and Black album.
In the midst of the group's separation, Yuck Mouth signed a deal with Jay Prince's Rap-A-Lot Records to release a solo album called Thugged Out, The Obulation. It was a 2-disc album released November 3rd, 1998. The solo album peaked on Billboard at number 8 and number 40 on Billboard Top 200. The album went platinum with the lead single called Still Ballin'. During the time Yuck and Numb are creating beef records for their mixtapes in the midst of their solo albums, Numb catches a Fed case that lands him 7 years behind bars for domestic violence and drugs.
Okay, so I got with him. Right after that, he goes to jail. Now, I'm going in and out of jail for like little shit, DUIs and little shit, get caught with a pistol here and there. So one of my times in jail, you know what I mean, the motherfucking CEO, all my shit, boom, 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 boom. Ellis, see your boy? You know what I mean? They want to give me all this paperwork and show me what's going down. I'm like, bro, I really don't rock with him no more. I'm Yuck Mouth. I just do me, man, my nigga. So whatever he got going, that's him. But he showed me this nigga whole shit. It's over for your man. It's over. Who you gonna rap with now? Like, they was just teasing me. Like, this is in LA County, Twin Towers, teasing me about his case. You know what I mean? Bringing that shit to myself. I'm like, I really don't fuck with dude. You know what I mean? I do me, but good luck to that man. You know what I mean? Period. But I'm Yuck Mouth. They thought it was over. Like, hey, you ever make an album again? Nigga, go check me out, nigga. I'm solo. Right. I went platinum solo. Thugged Out the Obulations platinum by myself. Period. Without nobody. So boom. They was teasing me. Get out of jail. And the same fucking friends. I ain't gonna name no friends, but the same friends. I'm asking these niggas, tell this nigga Numb to hit me because it's a, everything is coming back to retro shit from the Nikes to the clothing to the everything going back to retro, even the shows. Everybody booking a lot of retro shows. I noticed this inflation like 2013, 14. So I'm trying to get in contact with Numb like, yo, I know he's getting out soon. So I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? I need to talk to him. I'm talk to his homeboys who he fuck with. I ain't gonna say their names. You know their name. They're not telling this nigga I'm trying to talk to him.
So now guys got this success as a group. He got the success as a solo artist.
Mm-hmm.
Was it ever hard for y'all to kind of be like, let's do the Luniz project again? Like, was it kind of?
No, it was. I'm like, cause like I said, I couldn't believe that this cat thought that I was mad because he had a solo career.
And he believed that.
And he believed it, but without asking me how I felt about that project. Right. He didn't come to me and say, "Numb, bro, how you feel about this?" At all. He's just listening to these other motherfuckers saying Numb is mad. But you don't come talk to me. So I was pissed off at that. I'm pissed off at him for believing these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Nigga, you my brother. Nigga, we stood on the bench together. Nigga, like, who we gonna get? And you believe in these motherfuckers and don't even come ask me nothing. That hurt my heart. You know what I mean? I didn't say nothing about it. You don't hear me saying nothing in no magazines, no interviews, nothing about my brother.
At that time, especially.
For real.
Right.
But then later on, it's like I hear shit about me in the magazines and on the interviews.
What was being said?
No, I'm mad at this and all that. You know what I mean?
Almost like a jealousy thing?
No, it's like, I don't know what it was. I don't know.
No, what I'm saying is what you picked up from it was almost like they were saying like maybe you was jealous or something, or?
I don't know.
I don't want to call you a hater. I don't think you was a hater because you liked what he did.
I loved it. I loved that album. I listened to the album daily.
How do you think the fans took what was being said about you? What was being written in these magazines? How do you think your fans or the group's fans?
You know what? When I would read shit, or if, like even today, if I talk to some fans or whatever, and I don't like to call them fans, but if I talk to people about how they felt about the Luniz split, you know, I don't even have to ask them. They'll come up to me and be like, "Yeah, it was messed up when y'all split us. We missed y'all on that." And only thing that I got from them was, it shouldn't have happened.
Right.
Shouldn't have happened. Y'all should have stayed together. And everybody always say, all the groups always breaking up and they missing out on money and this and that and this and that.
Right.
I mean, you know what though? I think that split was actually good for both of us. Once we started really beefing, me mad for my reason, him listening to these other motherfuckers, the split was actually good for both of us because it showed that we really needed each other. You know what I mean? When me and Yuck get together on these songs, what that brings, what happens in that music is incredible, man. You know what I mean? We complement each other so good. And it's from being on those park benches. You know what I mean? That's where that shit come from. That camaraderie, that brotherhood on them benches, that's what comes out today, even right now in our music. You know what I mean? That's you can't ask, you can't teach nobody that. You can't. It just comes.
I go on MySpace, Twitter, one of them motherfuckers, Facebook, see his address to where he at, where I could write him. So I wrote him and gave him my number, just broke the shit down, apologized, squashed the beef, being a big man, whatever, and he called me. Right before he got out, this one like 6 months or 7 months before he get out. Call me and I tell him, you know what I mean? Yo, it's on, you know? Just show up to work. We ain't gotta be friends. You ain't friends with motherfuckers you work with. Every nigga in the cubicle that work next to you ain't your friend. But are you gonna stop getting your check? Or you gonna say, oh, they ain't my friend, so I ain't gonna get my check? I said, nigga, just show up to work. Period. That's it. We ain't gotta be the best of friends or nothing. Let's get this check. He was like, for sure.
The Luniz ties spread clear across the country into New York during the years that there was still a little tension from the East Coast and West Coast beef. Through it all, Yuck developed a relationship with Biggie and Bad Boy from battling MCs while on tour with the Luniz. Diddy decided to do a remix of 5 on It called Satisfy You and feature the guys on the remix with R. Kelly.
5 on It took off. We was still on the block. Then we got took, literally, like, the shit came out in, June, the single came out. The album came out in July. June, the single came out, went platinum in a month. the album come out and go, I think, gold in a month. By August, we was on tour with Biggie. By August, we was on tour with Biggie. August or September, we was on tour with Biggie.
So how did y'all get tight?
I was the weed man. Everybody need weed on tour, and I got that Cali Fire. Nigga, I was like Branson on tour with them niggas, bro. Nigga, they just love me. Junior Mafia, Faith love me, man. Nigga, what? Nigga, big. They love me. I was the weed man. And I'm cool as fuck. You see me right now, I'm joking and shit, fucking with motherfuckers, and I was freestyling too. So when Biggie and them, you know what I mean, be in the lobby and shit, they had me out there. They got me on camera killing niggas. Period. They got me on camera killing niggas. I had one battle with my homeboy, man. He's a comedian right now. He's killing it with the comedian shit, but me and him had a battle in front of Biggie, man. Paige Kennedy. Ask Paige fucking Kennedy about me on Biggie tour. I was the nigga that they hold the neck and had me going at niggas. Yeah, so not only was I the weed nigga, I was gassing, rapping battles. I was fucking with them heavy. Right. Period. So they loved me, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, and then after the tour, after we got kicked off, Puff had did the Satisfy You. You use the 5 on this shit. Right? We all record at the studio called The Enterprise in LA, all the big people, Michael Jackson, everybody. So we had that motherfucker booked for the whole, we had that bitch booked for like 3 months, right? That was like 300 grand, nigga, period, out of our budget. So I see Puff, you know what I mean, down the hallway and shit, cause I done heard about the fucking R. Kelly song, and he ain't got at us. I said, nigga, I've been looking for you. I've been looking for you. He said, I need you on the remix. I'm doing the West Coast remix of the Satisfy You. You know what I mean? So I lined that up, you know what I mean, by hooking up with Puff. I'm on the tour. I couldn't talk to Puff directly, you know what I mean? Like, y'all been looking for you. I'm like, said, come here tomorrow. You and your mans, come here tomorrow. So we come in the studio, nigga. J-Lo laying on this nigga lap while we doing the vocals. I'm fucking up. Because there's a window. I can see J-Lo, nigga, just, her whole shit just laying on the nigga, just curved. Like, I see that. This throw me off, man. Like, so I can't rap right. J-Lo in the building and shit, my nigga. So I had to do 1,000 takes to get it right. But it was nervous, man. Not only Puff there, but you got J-Lo too. It was nervous. A lot of nervous shit. But we got it together and did the Satisfy You remix and shit with Puff. Puff gave us off 30 stacks, you know what I mean? Walking down the hallway, happy to see him, you know what I mean? So I was connected with them like that.
So we went out there to New York to do an interview with Funk Master Flex. To this day, I don't like this dude for this. I think it's Dr. Dre or Ed Lover, one of them, before us in the studio. I think it's one of them. And we're supposed to go in and do our interview. Time passing this, our time done went past everything. Time done went past. I'm like, we sitting there for like hour and a half, waiting for our interview, right? We listen to them and they're having fun and shit. We listen to, they got it playing out here. We get in there. This nigga asks us about 3 questions and get us the fuck out of the studio. And all we know before we come down there, we like, oh yeah, New York, they on their own shit. They don't really like the West Coast. This motherfucker give us 3 questions and get us the fuck out of there. Like it wasn't, like we ain't shit. We the #1 song in the world right now. For real? Right. Fuck that dude. To this day, fuck that dude. And he never gave us no love. Never once gave us no love.
Regardless of the beefs and issues between the two, the Luniz are a certified staple on the West Coast and abroad, bringing millions of fans together in the name of good music and smoking weed. In 2019, director Jordan Peele used 5 on it as the theme song for the record-breaking movie Us, which added another accolade to the Luniz resume. All in all, they have built a stellar career in hip-hop, and the record 5 on it will be one of those records that will last for decades to come.
Like these 2 superpowers, you know what I mean, individually, but when they come together, it's like, it's magic. And it don't even have to be musically. It could be just when they're around each other. When they're in the same room, there's a magic that happens within the dialogue, the jokes, the characters, the charisma. Just it's a sight to see.
Stop playing, man. Salute to the ever dopest West Coast MCs to put it down, man. The Luniz, my man Yuck, my man Numbskull.
Well, first of all, you know, they're both characters. You know what I mean? Numb, his name's not Numb for no reason. Like, he's a knucklehead, you know what I mean? But he's very personable. And Yuck is just, you know, anywhere we go, like, you know, being on DU tours or wherever he goes, you know, the hood, you know, they love him, you know what I mean? You got guys that just scream his name like, you know, like he was Elvis or something like that. These are grown men, you know, these.
You know, brothers are gonna fight, and that's a fact. At the end of the day, dust each other off. I mean, some time might elapse where you don't speak to each other. Shit, I ain't talked to my daughter in a minute, but now, this family stuff. There's certain things that love just, you know, especially brotherly love. Some things that love will conquer all things. It's just sometimes it takes time, and people have to see things from a different perspective. So,
groundbreaking. Bringing shit to the table. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, through our umbrella, a lot of people were blessed. You know what I mean? A lot of people were blessed. A lot of people just followed our lead. If they didn't follow our lead, we put them in position. So all the people at that time in the Bay Area, when they got them big record deals, they came from us and our management and shit that we did.
When it comes to the Luniz, I would like everyone to say, them cats went in the studio and they did songs that about what the shit that they were doing. That's it. They went in there and had fun. If you listen to Luniz songs, they funny, they street, they personal. That's what I want people to say about the Luniz music. We went in there and did our thing.